Hi, my name is Lee Gitzis. I'm the Chief Virtualization Architect for Comm Solutions. Welcome to our Tech Tip video series on Citrix Sharefile storage zones. The concept of file sharing and collaboration started as a consumer-based technology with products such as Dropbox and Box.net. Over the past few years, this concept has made its way into the enterprise because of its ease of use and ability to sync files between people as well as devices anytime, anywhere, seemingly instantaneously. Citrix Sharefile is a new twist on this concept because it's an enterprise-ready solution that provides the capability of having IT be able to secure and manage the data that's being transferred. It also offers MDM-like technology for being able to manage that data when it gets onto user-owned mobile devices. In conjunction with that, they created a new version of the technology called storage zones, which allow enterprise IT to store their data wherever they like, including their own data centers. In this video series today, we're going to demonstrate how to set up and configure Sharefile integration with locally hosted data using storage zones. The Sharefile Citrix Managed Storage Zone in their hosted platform is comprised of two components, the control plane and the storage zone. Citrix Online hosts the control plane, which is the application that users interface with to authenticate and access data. The storage zone is a hosted S3 cloud on Amazon, which contains the hosted user data. When a user connects to the control plane, they're then routed back to the storage zone in order to get their data. Therefore, user-client interaction interacts directly with the data store. In a managed and on-premise storage zone, the control plane remains the same. It is an application that is hosted and SaaS-based in Citrix's data center. However, on-premise, we have a Storage Center Windows IIS server that front-ends a CIF share. The storage centers push the data back and forth between the CIF share located on your enterprise storage. This could be anything that supports CIFs, a Windows file server, or a NetApp FAS, for example. There also is a hybrid solution where customers can opt to keep some data in their own S3 Amazon cloud or on Citrix's hosted S3 Amazon cloud, allowing organizations to have multiple storage zones located throughout the globe. Just as with the hosted solution, the user interacts directly with the storage zone and the data after being routed from the hosted application. The typical Sharefile management dashboard looks like this. Within here, we have various options for configuring the system. Under the admin screen, in a Sharefile Enterprise Edition, you will see an option for storage zone. Today, we have no private cloud storage configured, only storage hosted by Citrix. The following will demonstrate how to configure private storage zones. For our demonstration, we have configured a Windows 2008 R2 server, which we're looking at the desktop of now. In conjunction with that, there is a CIFS file share configured, as well as the Sharefile account that I showed in the previous section. In order to deploy a storage zone and storage center, a Windows 2008 R2 server must be configured. This desktop is our 2008 R2 server that we will install Storage Center on. In conjunction with that, IIS must be configured with ASP.NET. Additionally, a public SSL certificate issued from a public CA must be available on the server. At the moment, only public certificates are supported by Sharefile. The Sharefile control plane will create an inbound SSL session to the storage center server. Therefore, it must be able to resolve the certificate name. Prior to recording of this video, we installed IIS. We also installed ASP.NET. Within the IIS console, we must go into the ISAPI and CGI restriction shortcut and allow ASP.NET to function. If we do not allow it, the software will not install. In addition, within the default website, an SSL certificate must be binded to the site, which currently we've already done prior to the beginning of this recording. Once we have the prerequisite components installed and configured, we can begin the installation process of Storage Center. Accept the user agreement, click Next, choose your installation path, click Next again, and then click Install. Once the installation is complete, we will have the option to launch the Storage Center configuration page. Upon clicking Finish, a web page will open, and you will be prompted to enter configuration information. This information is the login and domain of your Sharefile account. Once your information has been entered, click Login. We're presented with two options: create a new zone or join an existing zone. This option is available because of high availability. In environments where we need to have high availability, once we create a storage zone, we can create a second Storage Center server, open a second hole in our firewall to 443, and provide a second URL for Sharefile. The Sharefile control plane will then load balance between the two Storage Center servers. In addition to that, in more advanced configurations, where DMZ access is preferred, a Citrix NetScaler can be placed in front of the Storage Center servers, and all storage zone traffic can be directed to the NetScaler, which will then in turn load balance and provide connectivity services to the Storage Center servers. This provides additional caching and performance, as well as an additional layer of security by having the NetScaler in the DMZ. The first part of the configuration process is to register the Storage Center server with Sharefile. To do that, we must create our new zone and then allow it to understand where it needs to route to in order to access the Storage Center and subsequently the storage zone. In the Create a New Zone section, we have to type in a friendly name. This name is what will appear when assigning users on the control plane to storage resources. The host name is the name of the server that will appear in Sharefile. Again, it's a friendly name to be able to recognize what server we're communicating with. The external address is the URL that the Sharefile control plane will use to build a secure SSL connection into the Storage Center server. This must be resolvable to an SSL certificate. HTTPS is not necessary to be typed as it is implied. In the storage location, type the path to the CIF share that will house the data. Please keep in mind that this share must be empty. If the storage location is pointed at a CIF share that has data in it, it will be deleted. This is because Sharefile keeps the data in a proprietary format in order for the control plane to be able to organize it. Also, please keep in mind that the storage within this CIF share is never overwritten, so changes to files are saved as separate files. This is where having a system for storage that provides deduplication capabilities, such as a NetApp, will be advantageous. The deduplication will help mitigate the expansive growth that will occur as users make changes and adds to files and data. Encryption is also capable of being enabled within the system. All data kept within the CIF share can be encrypted. Please keep in mind that although this is available, it is not generally recommended as it will impact performance for users retrieving and sharing data. In the Create Passphrase section, a password must be created in order to create the encryption key that's used when encrypting Sharefile data. Although we're going to opt to not encrypt the data, a key is still required in order to validate the configuration. And the next step is to log into the Sharefile control plane application and ensure that the configuration is completed from the cloud. Upon login, under the admin section, we will see storage zones. Within storage zones, we should see our newly configured storage zone, that it's healthy, and the amount of storage centers that are connected to it. If we click on the zone itself, we'll see a dashboard that gives statistical information as far as how much bandwidth has been consumed and what kind of file activity has occurred. Capacity is also shown within this dashboard. We have some management abilities as well as far as reconciling files and recovering files. We also have the capability of deleting the zone. The next step is to assign users to the new storage zone. We go to the Manage Users section. I'll use my user account, and I'll click into the properties. You'll see that there's an option for default storage zone. My default zone is the public cloud storage. Now that I have an on-premise storage zone, I'm going to change my default storage zone to the lab. When tying a storage zone to a user, their home or personal directory will go there. Any collaboration or project folders that are created will have the storage zone option tied to them as well, and upon creation of a folder, we'll need it assigned. Once we save the changes, if I have any existing data, it will be migrated to the on-prem storage zone. The next step is to test uploading files to my storage zone. To do that, I'm logged back into my primary management screen, and I'm going to click Upload Files. I can also bring files into Sharefile using the synchronization tool configured within Citrix Receiver or standalone configured within Windows. I'm going to click the Choose File option, and I'm going to browse to a directory, select the file, and click Open. Once I click the Upload button, the upload will begin, and my file will be uploaded to the storage zone. Once I've uploaded my file, I'll go back to the file server and browse to my CIF share. Within the share, I should find representation of the file. Again, keep in mind this is a proprietary format and storage filing system. Therefore, data cannot be accessed via CIF share. It must be accessed from the control plane in order to be usable. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope this video was educational and will give you insight into providing ways to securely provide storage and file sharing capabilities to your end users. Have a good day.